Anybody else find this to be strange? Clive Davis is unalived at the age of 94. And what if I told you this is another one of their rituals?
I'm literally in my driveway. I just got back from an appointment.
Trixie, alright. Now I'm like this.
As you can see right now, we're actually in the worship hall of a Prince Hall Freemason Lodge. Right now, this is in Brooklyn, New York.
Yo, people, I got the other audio, the one with Alicia Silverstone. Now, disclaimer again, don't believe any of the shit that I send you guys, all right? But I'm a drop it right now.
Welcome back to the Wizard's Fish. Hope everybody's doing well. It is super hot in my studio today and I have multiple videos to make, so I'm going to try and get through them as fast as possible. So we are going to jump into things as usual. Viewer discretion is advised and everything that you see in here is for entertainment purposes only. Let's get into it.
Anybody else find this to be strange? Clive Davis is unalived at the age of 94.
9 plus 4 is 13.
And what if I told you this is another one of their rituals? Because he was a longtime Knicks fan, right? And he's unalived 9 days after they won their first championship in 53 years. And they just so happened to win their first championship in 53 years on June 13th. The 13th. Stay with me. Because Clive Davis was 94 years old when he passed away, right? Well, what does 9 plus 4 add up to? Oh yeah, 13. And that's not all. Because he is unalived 79 days after his recent birthday, and 79 just so happens to be the 22nd prime number. And in Gematria, Knicks add up to 22. And that's not all with this ritual. Because he was the former head of Columbia Records, right? Well, Columbia Records adds up to 94 and one of the ciphers, and he passed away at the age of 94. And obviously, he was also this guy's mentor, Diddy's mentor, among other things. And speaking of Diddy, if you include the end date, it's been exactly 33 weeks from Diddy's recent birthday, and New York also adds up to 33. So, again, it's always by the numbers. Wake up.
Bro, look at this, y'all. I knew I was the only one who seen the moon do this. I knew it, bro. Like, the moon is, look how fast this junk is moving. Look at this. This is in the North Shore in Jersey. Look at this. What's going on? And it looks like there's other light sources up there as well, too. Y'all see how fast that thing is moving? They told us in the end times the moon was going to start acting weird. And why does it look still eclipsed?
It's making me think of the a couple videos ago, there was that light shining in the sky. It was like blue and then all of a sudden it like moved. So I don't know, maybe a projection or something.
Am I tripping, y'all? Don't the moon look still eclipsed? That's a plane. He's just showing you guys what's going on back there. But that thing is still moving. Why does it look eclipsed? Look at this. This is just the other night in Jersey. What is going on? And this was just the moon in Louisiana just the other day. Y'all see that?
That's huge.
Whoa.
This is not real life. The moon looks so fucking colorful.
I don't think you guys are comprehending how massive this moon looks right here, right now. And then this thing over here. And then this star that's like flickering over here. Looks like that it's powering the moon, right? But y'all, there's been times I come out, I see the moon, and then I'll come out maybe like 30, 40 minutes later to an hour, the moon is completely gone. Where did it go? There you go, y'all. Something is happening. They told us in the end times we would be experiencing things like this. Let me know down in the comments below, man. This thing is hawking it, bro. The shit is here. Let's continue to get it. Peace in.
Kai Cenat is alive and well. Cassinet, die game. This Cassinet run out is now Cassinet. You don't understand, Jace. You don't understand.
Thought said 8 months back was the real Kai Cenat, and that this one is gone. This is what he said, bro. Now, as you can see, Reggie was in denial, or Reggie knows, but Reggie can't say nothing. Shh, shut up! Why would they say that about Kai, knowing how everybody's been thinking that to begin with, that the old Kai is gone? And this new Kai's been acting very strange, and even his friend Tota that runs with him could see the change, the transformation in Kai Cenat, bro. Now, do I believe that he was replaced? Absolutely not. This is the same Kai Cenat. But he has been acting very different. He talks different. His energy is different. Everything about this new Kai Cenat is different, bro. Tota knows what's up, but Reggie's playing the game. Reggie knows something's going on, but he just doesn't want to admit it. Ever since HW, I don't think we ever gonna see the old Kai Cenat again. This is what people are saying. I don't believe that because obviously he's right here. But people just be saying anything because this video is for entertainment purposes only. This is the same Kai Cenat since way back, bro. This Kai Cenat right here, I don't know. Let me know. I'm out.
Me gusta perro. ¿Qué será, güey? Mira, ahí va. No mames, güey. No mames, Robe. ¿Qué hiciste, Robe? Se mira, por la luz, mira. Mira.
Like a fireball?
Es que ya se va a descargar la vergada.
So a family took out a boat to swim off the coast of Florida in the deeper water. They were swimming and the mother took a picture of the father and daughter. And in the photo, there is what looks like an extra hand holding a spear under the water underneath the father and daughter. They said they have no idea what this is, how it got there, and why it is there. Because at the time, it was just the father letting the daughter swim in deeper water. And the mother didn't like to swim in deeper water, so she stayed on the boat. Now, I don't know about y'all, but this looks very mermaid-esque. And this photo is rather old, so I don't think that it is AI. The spearhead even looks handmade. It doesn't look like a metal spear. It's just absolutely mind-blowing that these people may have captured a merperson on camera swimming in the deep waters of Florida. What do you guys think? Let me know. And what do you think this is?
They're not telling you what's really happening with the water, y'all. Pay attention. Look at this in Colorado. What is going on for real?
They are not showing you shit about the Colorado water crisis enough on the news. I mean, look at this. That's how low it is. There's literally buoys, if you not know, over here for the boats. This boat just used to be able to be on this. And, well... Oh, and by the way, that's your snowpack.
Oh my
So,
God.
there's
no
the
snow.
snowpack for us. So, I would start planning now because we're.
I told you guys what's coming. I told y'all what's happening. I told you why these things over here are going after the water. Y'all know what these are. There is something big happening behind the scenes in Colorado that nobody's really talking about.
How did you come into Flat Earth? Because you weren't a Flat Earther when you worked at NASA.
Correct.
Right? So tell me about that journey.
So it's actually, if you don't mind if I go back a little bit
Please.
further, when I worked at NASA, probably 1997, 98, the guys in the photo lab, two of them were coming out of their office at the same time I was leaving my office. And I heard them laughing and saying they couldn't believe that people believed in the fake moon landings.
Huh.
Now, obviously, I wasn't aware of any of this then. I had no idea. So I honestly just thought they were crazy. So I kind of brushed it off and I didn't think about it again for many years. And then in 2007, one of the guys I worked with at Lockheed Martin told me that the earth was flat. And I discarded the information because he didn't really give me a lot of detail. He was an engineer, very smart guy on the F-117.
Wait, a smart guy that believed in a flat earth?
Very educated.
Okay.
Very educated and very
Gotcha.
smart, and aerospace background. Told me that the earth was flat. And again, I discarded it because it was just nonsense at the time. So fast forward a couple of years, and in 2009, I woke up to pretty much everything. And it's a hard awakening when it's all in one, but fake moon landings, 9/11 inside job, chemtrails, HARP, and you just fill in the blanks from there. I started to research like crazy. So from 2009 until May of 2016, I was just researching, studying. I worked for the government until 2012. So NASA, then Air Force, then Lockheed, not necessarily in that order. But in May of 2016, I was doing my research, and I ran across a video that said 75 biblical proofs of flat Earth. And I was intrigued, having had it sort of in my face a couple of times and knowing the moon landings were faked. So I watched it, and my life hasn't been the same since that moment.
Yeah. So, so your background, I mean, you're a Christian, right? Correct. Or you believe in the Bible?
I do believe in the Bible.
Okay. Because lately I've found that Christian just means you take the scientific worldview and project it back on the Bible. But if you actually believe...
I wanted to hear more of that. Obviously. I think the sugar's gonna turn to black goo. Oh. There's the goo.
Can you tell me which one of these skeletons is biologically male or female?
Male is on the left, female is on the right. There's tons of markers. Easy to see.
I'll give you a second to guess. For forensic anthropologists and crime scene investigators, being able to tell if the remains are biologically male or female cuts the identification pool in half. But how can you tell these differences in skeletal remains? Let's take a look. These two skeletons here are perfect to show you the differences because if you look at their height and stature, they're virtually identical. In general, male skeletons are going to be more robust as they have more pronounced and developed muscle attachments, whereas female skeletons will typically present more gracile. There are different methods of biological estimation, such as Dr. Joseph Hefner's method or Dr. Robert Mann's. Typically, the features of the skull are going to be rated on a scale of 1 to 5, from more robust to more gracile. For example, if we look at this skull here, the chin is less pointy and more square, which is a predominantly male feature. However, here we can see that the chin is pointier, which is a female dominant trait. The occipital protuberance is more developed on the male skull than it is on the female one.
But none of this is true, it's all just for entertainment purposes.
However, the most dimorphic feature in skeletons is the pelvis. Overall, the female skeleton has more of a basin shape, whereas the male skeleton has more of a funnel shape. The pelvic inlet in females is going to be larger and more round, whereas in males it is smaller and typically heart-shaped. This is to allow for childbirth, as the baby can easily pass through a larger birth canal. Morphologically, biological male skeletons are not designed to allow for childbirth. To help you better visualize, you can see that I can barely fit my fist in here and I can't really move it around. But in the female skeleton, I have plenty of room. Just like the pelvic outlet, the pelvic inlet is also going to be much smaller in males. Just look at the size difference with the female skeleton here. The subpubic angle where the two pelvic bones meet is typically smaller in males, under 90 degrees. And in females, it's typically over 100 degrees. The greater sciatic notch is also more narrow and deeper in males, and wider and shallower in females. The greater sciatic notch is actually one of the most reliable indicators of biological sex. These are just some of the few of the many morphological differences between biologically male and female skeletons. It is our goal here at the Bone Museum to make the study of osteology more accessible to everyone, and we hope that you learned something new from this video today. And if you still hadn't figured it out yet, this is a skeleton that is presumed to be biologically female, and this one biologically male. Did you get it right?
If you know all this stuff, you can easily see it with live people with their skin still on for entertainment purposes only.
Now, I didn't used to think that Joe Rogan was a female, but I didn't used to think that I had a baby with someone that also had the skeleton of a female. This is the collarbone of a female. This is the traps of a woman. This is the skeleton of a woman. This is the eye spacing of a woman. This is the eyebrows of a woman. This is the belly button location of a woman. This is a female with the anatomical parts of a male. Advanced medical genetic editing researchers have found that even slight changes to specific DNA letters in a laboratory setting can cause an embryo to develop the anatomical features of the opposite sex, regardless of the original chromosome. This is not a natural phenomenon. Joe Rogan's biology is female.
18 to vote, and how come if a kid graduates college at 16, he's a genius? But Tracy Lords does some fantastic films at 16, and suddenly it's law! It's against the law!
Once again, the Illuminati is apparently into some weird shit. Is it that he doesn't have kids, or he didn't mature to like a full mother age to think it's disgusting to watch a 16-year-old child on corn? Do you think if his gender wasn't with, he would be talking about me on his talk show, calling me a schizophrenic when he's watching kitty corn?
Makes you wonder.
Cannibal insects are invading multiple states in the U.S. Massive swarms of Mormon crickets are invading parts of Oregon, Nevada, and Idaho.
That's gross.
Residents say entire neighborhoods are being overrun with roads, homes, and yards covered in insects.
It's like a plague.
But here's the crazy part. These aren't actually crickets. They're giant, flightless insects that can grow up to 2 inches long, and they're cannibals. If one falls behind, the swarm will literally eat it alive. That's why they keep marching forward in massive waves. Now, if you're from Nevada or Idaho, you might say this is normal. Happens every year. But here's the problem. Even the experts said this year the crickets came out much earlier. And you might remember people reporting how those tick swarms also showed up much earlier.
This is what it's like to live here in the Hudson Valley. They're everywhere. Look at this sick freak. Just found him crawling up the wall of my bathroom as I was on the toilet. And I found one crawling on me in bed last week a couple weeks ago.
Of course, they'll say it's all happening because the world is getting hotter. But doesn't this feel like someone is trying to fulfill those prophecies? And the goal seems to be to scare people so much that they stop leaving their homes altogether.
That is disgusting.
What are they like, what are they attracted to? The sweat, maybe? The salt?
That's gonna be insane. Oh my god. Dude. That would like blow the eyes out of the back of your head. Damn.
8 miles an hour, that's only at 100 yards, guys. Absolutely blasted with dirt. I got dirt running down the back of my shirt, sand. Wow.
That's
a great
impressive.
checkout run for Guido and team.
Now, reason number 7. This is an interesting one. Eyewitness accounts of alien encounters often include the detail of smelling a burned atmospheric, that burned ozone, brimstone, or sulfur odor. And exorcists will tell you, this goes all the way back for 2,000 years. The smell of sulfur, brimstone, is a classic sign of demonic presence and demonic possession. There are many historic parallels in the lives of the saints, over and over and over, of smelling sulfur when engaging with the demonic. And wouldn't you know it, people report the same odor, the same smell when they interact with aliens. I think that's an interesting one. I think it's worth noting.
If that was the other way around, it would be considered racism.
Is this a genuine case of possession caught on camera? The police were shocked. This is mad.
On March 11th of 2026, a father living in Florida would call the police on his ex-wife. And this would not be the first time he had reported her for harassment. You see, he had already moved on and found a new partner. However, he still shared custody of his kids with his ex-wife. And he explains to the officer that the harassment had been getting worse, and that the night prior he had received over 17 calls and 9 voicemails around 2 a.m. in the morning. These were all from his ex-wife, and they were not only deeply disturbing to him, but to the officer as well.
You heard one of myself and help,
Yeah,
right?
so 144 was when she started leaving voicemails?
This will, I believe, have been, yes, that's the first voicemail. These previous 2 did not.
Okay.
47.
You married him, and you want everybody to tell for your love. You lie. You know that. You're alive. You're alive. You're alive.
You were with her for many years. You're positive that is her voice?
Yes.
Okay.
Definitely sounds demonic.
The officer documents these voicemails for her body cam, that even she is surprised that these are completely unaltered in any way. But perhaps the most disturbing part is that they only seem to get worse as he continues to play them.
I hope she gets some help from this. I hope that this leads to a good resolution, because it's my kids. You know, this is their mom. It's scary. It's 150.
After checking her phone, the police noticed that she had deleted communications between her and her ex-husband from the night before. And based on all available evidence, they arrested her under the Florida statute of stalking.
This woman needs help. She needs help either way, whatever's happened here. I mean, on one hand, this actually does sound like some kind of genuine case of possession. That sounds like the flipping Conjuring, mate. I'd be out of there. But at the same time, this is his ex-wife. It's not like a major change of character. If he said she was pretty crazy, she was doing all these insane things, then it wouldn't be a surprise that she is potentially trying to manipulate him and cause issues. I don't know, though. Let me know if you're superstitious or not and what your thoughts are on this, and I'll dig into it and keep you updated.
On here. What's the energy shift in this room? She starts talking about Jesus. It's crazy.
Today, to offer nothing but prayer, and I want to lift up my Father in heaven. Father God, I just come to you in Jesus' name. I pray, Father, that you would tear down the strongholds in this place. I pray, Father, that you would raise up the men in this room.
Stop.
I pray, Father, that you would...
Stop.
I pray that you would raise up...
Stop the time. We don't do prayer. Please finish your comments.
And I do pray all this in the name of the Jesus, the Son, the Father, and the Holy Spirit.
Thank you.
Jesus is the King of Kings, and he is the Lord of Lords. And I pray that all the high places here will be torn down in the name of Christ. Jesus is the Lord of Lords, and every knee will bow.
Your time is up. Thank you. Your time is...
Well, ain't that just crazy, huh? Demons manifesting at the name of Jesus. He's real, folks. If you like this kind of content, like and follow for more. We'll see you in the next video.
Now, I usually don't address this guy because he's extremely weird and has serious psychological problems and everything. But again, I believe in free speech. Everyone should be platformed. But this dude was also talking about having Elon ban the account Track AIPAC, which simply puts out pictures of U.S. politicians and the amount that through public information, AIPAC or AIPAC-related groups have donated to them. But what he tweeted out this week, this is from @LaraLuma on Twitter. Soon there will be a massive Islamic terror attack in America, and the perpetrators will likely have financial ties to podcasters and those who are sowing discord for foreign nations in America.
This is just a random movie script that he's talking about. It hasn't come out yet, but you guys know the drill.
I predict there will be many casualties, and only then will it maybe set in that people have been conned into supporting a terrorist psyop to distract you from the threat of Islam, while the enemy plotted to destroy our country from within with botted conspiracy theories. It will likely be 10 times worse than 9/11. And I quoted this and said, it's the way this guy clearly wants an attack to happen that pisses me off more than anything. Read that tone, and then also like watch him talk on his shows. And I'm saying that all tongue in cheek. This is Lara Loomer. She's a chick, obviously, but she doesn't look like one. But, you know, watch how she talks about everything, properly gender her or whatever, and tell me that she is not sitting there seething, frothing at the mouth, rooting for that to happen. These are not nice things to put out into the atmosphere, because she gets to sit behind a keyboard while predicting things and hoping for things where real people in the world will die, and people that do shit like that.
This was the first Ferris wheel ever built for the 1893 Chicago World's Fair, and honestly, it seems unbelievable for the time. Think about it. This thing stood over 260 feet tall, and each passenger car could hold up to 60 people at a time.
That's massive.
There were 36 cars attached to the wheel. That's more than 2,000 passengers on a single rotation. And according to history, it took roughly 10 minutes for the wheel to complete one full revolution. Imagine the amount of weight being lifted into the air every time it turned. More than 2,000 people suspended nearly 300 feet above the ground.
That's like a third of my town.
And that's where the questions begin, because the World's Fair wasn't just a Ferris wheel. The entire fair was illuminated by thousands upon thousands of electric lights. Massive buildings stretched across the grounds. Machinery, inventions, and exotic artifacts from around the world were all put on display. And somehow, all of this appeared during a time when horse-drawn transportation was still common. But some researchers believe the World's Fairs were not actually showcasing new inventions. They were showcasing things that already existed. Ancient artifacts, advanced craftsmanship, technologies and materials that seemed far beyond what most people were supposedly capable of at the time. Gold, silver, rare stones, massive architectural wonders, almost like humanity was being shown pieces of a world that had already existed, a world that was disappearing. And according to the theory, the people taking credit for these marvels were not the builders. They were simply the ones who inherited them. So the question is, was the 1893 World's Fair displaying the future or the remnants of a forgotten past?
I'm not. I'll never kill myself. This is my research on Bill Gates. He funds research on ticks on Plum Island. He is getting a vaccine for ticks before anything major happens. This is similar to when he created viruses in Windows to sell antivirus. He encourages people to be vegan and stop eating meat. He suggests bugs as an alternative. Suddenly, there are alpha-gal syndrome cases from the Lone Star tick. Alpha-gal syndrome is where people are allergic to red meat, but bugs are still fine.
This is the plot of a new TV series that's supposed to be coming out, if you know what I mean.
This is not a natural allergic reaction. I suspect it is man-made. Boxes of ticks are found in tall grass fields by farmers. Chickens eat hundreds of ticks per hour. However, there's an initiative petition, IP28 Peace Act, removing existing extensions for agriculture, hunting, and fishing. Tick populations rapidly spreading across the U.S. worse than any other year in history. Ticks are known to be aggressive and hostile, actively searching for human hosts rather than staying on grass blades like other ticks. Bill Gates pushes for 3D printed meat. Bill Gates releases genetically altered mosquitoes under the excuse to get rid of other mosquitoes. This might be a secret vaccination plan. Initial discovery. In the early 2000s, Dr. Thomas Platts Mills and other researchers at the University of Virginia began receiving reports of sudden unexplained allergic reactions to red meat, such as beef and pork, occurring 3 to 6 hours after consumption. Bill Gates is a genius, but the question is he really trying to help society?
Absolutely not. At least that's my belief. Whether you believe Bill Gates is evil or not, if he's trying to help society or not, I think the answer is pretty obvious if you look into it. Regardless, it's still pretty obvious that the world that we're living in is in a way disintegrating. The systems designed by the government are here to enslave us, are here to take our power away, are here to create more man-made viruses. 2020 and everything that transpired then was also, in my belief, by design.
It was by design because it's a movie script. It's all a movie script.
Obvious. What do we do about this? Because clearly I think you know it's pretty fine now. The question is, what do we do about this? I think the only thing that we can do about this is to start building a new model for civilization, a new way to live in community, a new way to raise our children, a new way to grow food, a new way to go about education, a new way to essentially structure society as a whole. We're talking sovereign energy systems. We're talking also sovereign tech, our own phones, our own computers, our own systems in that regard, so that we're not slaves or victims to these people in power in any way. Because if they wanted to shut off the internet, they could do that. So we need our own internet. And if every time you hear about all the fights going down in the world, this is where your head goes, towards this kind of conversation. How can we build something new? How can we do something better? How can we actually create change? And we have a community of over 7,000 people where we have these kinds of discussions. We have live calls on Zoom every single week, and we're engaging in this conversation. So if you want to join that, comment community below. I'll send you the invite link, and let's build a better world.
I'm literally in my driveway. I just got back from an appointment.
Alright. Stand like this.
Okay, that's definitely on purpose.
Yeah, snacks.
You want a snack?
Yeah.
Okay, you go get a snack.
Well, you know what, sir? I don't know if there's a lot we can agree on, so let's just take our wins when we have them.
Ma'am.
Sir.
Ma'am.
Do you think you can force me to call you ma'am?
I don't know, sir.
I mean, that's a question, like a legitimate question for the transgender community. Can you force Americans to call you by the pronoun you want to be called? Can you force me? Should there be like legal ramifications if I do not call you?
Why would you really care enough? I see it this way. Why do you care so much about what's
because
in
I care about
pants?
facts. And I
the
care about
fact is-
fundamental truth. And sir,
The fact
you
is
are a
that-
boy. You are a boy.
Cool.
You're not a woman.
That's awesome.
Yo, people, I got the other audio, the one with Alicia Silverstone. Now, disclaimer again, don't believe any of the shit that I send you guys, all right? But I'm a drop it right now. By the way, good morning. I love ya.
Are literally drinking blood and eating the flesh of babies.
In movies.
That's the real business in this town. That's how you stay at the top. I'm not crazy. I'm not having some kind of breakdown. I'm just finally telling the truth about what I've come to know. Most of those conspiracy theories that people laugh at online, They're not theories. They're facts.
Facts in the movie script.
The worst ones are facts. I lost my dear friend Brittany Murphy because she started asking too many questions. She saw things she wasn't supposed to see. She wanted to speak out, and they made sure that never happened. They took her, another victim of the Hollywood Ripper, and then they feasted on her body. Just like they've done to so many others who tried to step out of line.
The movie plot's getting pretty crazy. Oh. Just a coincidence.
We know Oliver Tree died, but have you fucking seen this video?
You're this anonymous person, dude. This is a trip. And I don't know if this is crazy.
What did you hear?
17 million in 1 month? Are you laughing? Is it more than that? Oh, shit.
Bro, that's literally what we do in a week off the merch drops.
Whoa.
Damn.
Whoa. Whoa. 17 milli a week is what you're making.
No, that was at my peak, bro.
Oh.
That was at my peak.
But where did all the cash go?
I don't really want to talk about it.
That's fine, man.
We did a thing. Are you familiar with Bernie Madoff?
No.
So he's a financial advisor.
What's his name?
Bernie
Yeah.
Madoff.
Bernie
Look
Madoff.
him up.
Okay.
It's a pretty famous
Bring him a
story.
picture for the audience, Joe, if you can, so we can
I've
see
heard
who
of
it
him.
is. Bernie Madoff.
So I started working with this through my aunt. She lives in Florida.
Okay.
And she connected me to Madoff.
Right.
And so he was doing all my financial advising. And there was a brief stint where
Oh, no. I don't like where this is going.
basically I just, during my pinnacle, we were making close, 72 million.
72 million what?
A month.
A month. Wow.
Wow.
$72 million a month you were making. No, what is the math then? How much is that?
It's 864 million a year.
Damn.
864 million a year. You're making 72 million a month. 864 million for the year. Damn.
Yeah, can you just talk? I don't really want to talk about what happened with Madoff, but
That's fine.
I'm getting a little worked up here. But if you want to just share a little bit about what happened with that
what is it?
situation.
I think he went to prison.
He went to jail.
Yeah.
For what?
For
Don't tell me some weirdo shit. What did he do?
I think just embezzlement or something.
Financial embezzlement? Oh, so you
Oh no, a big Ponzi scheme, I guess.
Oh my god, dude. So would you
it
think
was
you,
all gone.
you lost all your fortune
Everything,
to him?
yeah.
How much did
He
you
was
say?
using my money to pay off other people.
You know what they say? They say robbing Peter to pay Paul. That's the old phrase.
That was the whole scheme.
Rob
He would
Peter to
take
pay-
money
yeah.
from one person and pay the next and get everyone to make it look like that they're making their money back. But there was some of the bigger fishes, such as myself and some of my associates. And
so because of Mr. Madoff, you lost $800 million?
It says here his Ponzi scheme involved a total fraud of nearly 65 billion.
Yeah.
And the largest from a single anonymous person, around $864 million.
You're this anonymous person, dude? This is a trip. I never knew that.
Can we just talk about
Yeah,
something
no,
else?
we can move on. I'm sorry about that.
I'd be upset
Many
about that
of you
too.
know Oliver Tree has passed away, but this clip does not sit right.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
Oliver, when do you leave for tour?
I leave for tour in 1 week. Then I'm gone for good.
So you're going to New York? You're going to do a show in New York?
I am, yeah. We're doing a show in all of the major cities across all of the major countries.
Gone for good. I don't know what the fuck he meant by that. And you guys, to be honest, you guys can tell me. Because when I think of gone for good, I think gone for good. You know, like, that's it. Gone for good. It's done. That don't sit right. And you know what? Instead of me just trying to interpret, I'll let you guys decide. What the hell do you think he meant by that?
We've all heard many hot mics in the past. This is a new one of Mark Carney. And people are saying in the comments that he said the quiet part out loud. Not that he's wrong, but that this whole thing, the real problem is that what he said is true. Now keep in mind, the Prime Minister of Canada is not some spring chicken. He led the Bank of Canada from 2008 to 2013, and the Bank of England from 2013 to 2020. So listen to this.
Exactly. Yeah. So you need, yeah. And same with all the cabinet members, exactly.
So if you caught that, he's basically saying that the MPs, members of parliament, are useful for votes, which isn't like a groundbreaking, shocking thing to say. It is literally true, but if the members of parliament don't really know what's going on and they're just kind of useful for votes and useful for agreeing and being yes men and women who just say yes to everything. But the crazy thing is I saw him being elected, although some people say selected, but because he was kind of being promoted as the guy who's going to figure out this problem with the United States with the tariffs and all this stuff. And that was his whole thing. Trudeau steps down, boom, Carney comes up, says, I'm going to make everything right with the United States, which then made this kind of false like patriotism where now you see Canadian flags in people's houses. And of course in 2020, and it was like the Freedom Convoy. But now I see them and I go, it sounds like they just have this like Canada, not USA vibe, as opposed to being actually super proud or patriotic of this country. But anyway, it's an interesting dichotomy. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below and follow for more.
I can proudly say that I've never once in my entire life voted or ever intend to vote because it's all a huge scam.
Walk into the fucking McDonald's again!
These teenagers made it their hobby to bother workers at this McDonald's every day. Until this day when the workers finally had enough. The kids ran around the employee area as usual, bothering workers and screaming. But then the workers managed to trap the kids into some kind of storage room.
Good.
The workers then called the police while the kids started threatening them with false accusations. The workers remained calm as the kids taunted them and continued to threaten them. Even after being caught though, the kids still seemed to be having a lot of fun and were enjoying being complete rodents. Workers complained to the police and explained these kids come do this every single day.
They come every day here.
The kids continued to tell the workers all the false accusations they were going to tell the police.
I have video footage of you strangling my neck.
Eventually, when the police showed up, they made the kids leave the McDonald's, but they did nothing else. This is why kids that act as menaces nowadays do this, because they face no real consequences.
What brings you in?
Hi, my butt hurts, like around the entrance.
Around the entrance?
Yeah.
It's an exit, and it's going to keep hurting as long as you keep calling it an entrance.
Oh.
Change the traffic pattern, you'll thank.
Why was Hitler allowed to escape to Argentina after World War II and never pursued? Why did all the top Nazi scientists move to America via Operation Paperclip? Why did Otto Skarzeny, who once was a ruthless killer in the SS, end up later working for the Mossad?
Because it's a movie.
It makes a lot more sense when you factor in the possibility that the Nazis were a Zionist military operation and controlled opposition.
That sounds mean. Damn. Definitely an appropriate license plate. Dude, that's gnarly. They're probably pissed at him. That was awesome.
Masons are like homosexuals. They can't reproduce themselves naturally. They can only, yeah, amen. They can only recruit. You know, think of that. That's the way with every cult. If you know someone who's a Mason, or if you yourself are a Mason, realize that when you kneel at the altar of Masonry as an entered apprentice and you take that oath, you are adopted into the family of Lucifer at that moment. Now, you don't probably know that. I did. But most people don't even know that. And as a result, if you're a Christian, and mind you, there are pastors that are doing this, there are deacons that are doing this, there are countless Christian lay people that are doing this. You cannot serve two masters. And if you understood the profound relationship between witchcraft and Freemasonry, you would know what that cord, that cable tow meant, because they've got a rope around their neck. And what that means in witchcraft and the occult is that is a symbol of the umbilical cord of the mother goddess, the Queen of Heaven, linking her to her hidden child. So this guy has just been born again by the Queen of Hell, the consort of Lucifer. Every Mason has this happen to them. And they don't understand the dynamics, probably 99 out of 100, but they still go through it.
As you can see right now, we're actually in the worship hall of a Prince Hall Freemason Lodge. Right now, this is in Brooklyn, New York. Look down where I'm standing right now. You got the black and white checkered floor. All right. You got your altar, obviously, right here. And I just noticed something interesting that I never noticed before. Check this one out. Look inside of the bulb. They actually have the Freemason logo inside of the bulb. So the light is the grand architect, Lucifer. They actually put that in the bulb.
Stupid.
And I wanted to see. Check this out, what they're using for music. He's got the whole world in his hands. They play that on the organ in there. He's got the whole world in his hands.
Now, I recall reading in your book that at this praise worship service they had, they would sing hymns. Why would they sing hymns in a demon worship?
Yeah, this was kind of a big surprise to me when that took place. The priest said, hey, let's go down to the worship room of the gods and have a praise session, a singing session. So we go down there, and what did you think they pass around? Church hymnals. Christian church hymnals. And I couldn't believe this. I said, what's his business? So the priest says, well, now, he says, for those of you that are new, let me tell you that this is the most feasible way, he says, to please the spirits. It's to deride Christ and his people, and his church and all that. So they sing out of Christian hymnals.
They didn't sing Christian words to the hymns, however.
Well, they changed a lot of them. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
not for
it's a form of blasphemy. Yeah.
Mm.
I don't know how many times I have to come on and tell people you need to check everything you purchase at a supermarket. And why do I say that? Because a guy bought some pork at his local grocery store, took it home and noticed what looked like a pimple to him. He then went to press onto the pimple, and this is what happened. If you're having lunch or eating right now, do not watch this video.
Oh, this sounds gross.
All right, listen.
Okay. Can somebody please tell me if this is normal? So I noticed that little piece right
Look
there.
at that right there.
Had like this little looking like a pimple thing. So I was curious and I punch a hole in it and squeeze. Look at this.
Oh, it's like a cyst or something.
That is ew.
That's
Gross.
nasty.
Have a look at that for yourself right there. It's a good thing he laid all the meat out and cut it up and inspected it.
Imagine you ate that. Oh,
Have done that and just prepped it and cooked it. And this is something similar that humans get. It's an abscess. It's right, an abscess that's loaded with pus. And it's from infected raw pork. And as you can imagine, it's also not safe to consume, even if you cook your pork. If you do see something like this in your pork, throw it all out or return it to the grocery store. And once again, this video is for educational purposes only, especially for those of you that are new to cooking and you don't like to cut your meat up, wash it, or check it. A lesson to be learned here. You could get sick from eating this. And it's another reason why I say it over and over again. Check everything you purchase from grocery stores, regardless if it's wrapped or the date on it is still fresh. Doesn't mean anything. Something like that can easily slip through the cracks. And you really can't blame a grocery store, especially if the animal had the infection and then they just get the meat and package it. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. And as always, I'd love to hear from you.
What if the New York City subway tunnels were not built in 1904, but found? According to official history, the New York subway system was founded in 1904 and opened just 1 year later. But some researchers point out something strange. The wording itself, founded, not built. Almost like these tunnels already existed underground. Because think about it. Above ground, New York was still filled with horse wagons, dirt roads, and early industrial machinery. Yet somehow, underneath the city, they supposedly carved massive tunnel systems deep through solid rock. And here's where the theory gets even stranger. There are surprisingly few construction photos. No massive documentation. No endless images of excavation. Just a handful of photos showing workers standing inside finished tunnels. And some people ask, if humanity had truly built one of the greatest underground transportation systems ever created, wouldn't there be thousands of photographs documenting it, especially for something considered revolutionary at the time? Now combine that with theories about lost civilizations, buried cities, and hidden underground worlds, and some believe the subway tunnels were not constructed at all, but uncovered. The remains of something much older hidden beneath New York City itself. So the question is, did they really build the tunnels beneath New York, or did they simply rediscover them?
You ever notice that you can kick your door in, but you can't kick your door out?
It's a good point.
Don't you think if somebody was using their brain, they might turn that son of a bitch around so I could get out? Also so that they couldn't kick it in?
Yeah, it makes you wonder.
I'm not an engineer or anything. Maybe somebody has a better reason. But if I put a rope to your doorknob and I pull it tight, you're not opening it either. You ever thought about why they shaped your door to open the way it does?
Guys, like, what on earth was going on last night? Did you see the storm that happened over London? Like, it got absolutely battered with thunderstorms.
That's a lot of lightning.
What I find super interesting is that most people don't even realize or don't care to want to know about how much atmospheric monitoring and weather infrastructure exists in this world. I mean, hit that like right now if you think that this is probably not natural. I mean, last night they had 29,000 recordings of lightning strikes over just like a short amount of time. Yeah, what do you think, beautiful people? Is this just a natural thunderstorm during a record-breaking heat wave? Or is there something more going on in the atmosphere that they don't want us to know about? Let me know in the comments. And obviously, I'm as fictional as a dinosaur, baby.
What the? That's strange.
What? Hold on. Am I seeing this correctly?
Ancient adult entertainment.
Maybe they had a better imagination, like I always said. Look how big this thing is. In the 1700s, right? 1700s. Look at these doors. Where do you get these doors from? Seriously, man. What is this thing? Yeah, like we wouldn't know it's a lion. Griffin, lion with wings. I love them all. Love them all. This thing has to be over 7 feet tall. Is that proof there was giants? You gotta love that. These are new ones. What alligators? Yeah, that doesn't look familiar. Come on, man. They're all missing their heads for some reason. Was it melted, like they said? Sound off. This is awesome. This is awesome. So many. So many. Look at these chaps.
I cannot be the only one asking, what the heck is going on in Hollywood and where did the talent go? You guys are going to pay hundreds of dollars for this? And for some of them, it's like they never had any talent to offer us at all. And this is what we get now.
Gross.
Artists pretending to be other artists and not very good at it at that.
That masculine, lean muscle mass of Madonna.
And for others, it's kind of reminding me of The Little Mermaid. Like, where did their talent go? Was it just stolen and given to somebody else?
There's direction where to go. So make the best of the test and don't ask why. It's not a question, but an answer learned in time.
That's horrible.
Take the photographs and still fits in your mind. Hang on myself and good health and good time.
I see it runs in the family. Meanwhile, Jelly Roll's best friend, MGK. Let's just enjoy this moment together, shall we?
Like magic MGK.
Ooh, sizzling. Dear God.
I think he's seen Magic Mike one too many times.
I just need to know, where
Brutal.
are the Whitney Houstons? Where are the Adeles? Where are the Michael Bublés? This is what we get in 2026 for entertainment.
Disgusting.
Okay, this video of Mark Carney is going viral on Twitter right now because of the caption on it. Someone wrote, "Yesterday, men with rifles were outside my office. Watch how I almost trip when they present arms and then immediately become super weird. I even pretend to be a soldier at the end of the video and then smirk. I am the weirdest, most awkward PM Canada has ever seen." What was that? Then the Mr. Burns stance, which you guys pointed out in the last video. The crazy part, though, is this. Don't you think, you know how today so much stuff is fake? Like, we got Hollywood celebrities that all just parrot the same talking points. We got movies, it's all CGI, it was AI out the yin-yang. The G7, these leaders representing these countries, does this feel organic to you? Like, sometimes it seems many people are wondering if a lot of this is just a spectacle, it's a performative show to get people, excited and rooting for their side when who knows what the other side's controlled, maybe the same bird to the same wings, you know what I'm talking about? But then the crazy part to me that's so transparent with where their priorities are at is, where is the initiative and push to make food organic again? Where is the initiative to reduce and cut back on pesticide usage and figure out a way to grow mass-produced food organically? The fact that that's not happening, or why don't we use alternative means to make the water clean instead of putting chlorine in it, which we know is unfortunate. It's like, until that's going on, everything else is just, what is it, entertainment? Watching the latest drama thing unfold in politics when nothing is really happening that will benefit all of our lives right now. So that's why it's just a little bit shocking. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below and follow for more.
Not only do we have the Turkish boogeyman, you have Ghanaian witch doctors. Hey, just don't let Ghana and Turkey play each other. For the love of God. Y'all turned away that referee from Somalia, but you let witch doctors and the Babadook come in.
All right, guys, I'm going to wrap this one up. If you made it to the end, appreciate you very much, and I'll catch you again in the next one. Peace.